Hi, TikTok. I see you guys. So as people are starting to pop on, I'm going to go on ahead and introduce who I am in just a moment and then let you guys kind of know what we're going to be doing and all of that kind of fun. I don't know what it's doing. It says that it's trying to reconnect. So I'm just going to give it a second or so and see what's up. But welcome. So now that people are popping on and stuff, I'm going to go on ahead and let you guys know my name is Nataushia. I'm also known as the City Cardio Queen by a lot of folks. But what we're going to be doing today is we're literally going to be working out in a chair. That's why I'm known as the City Cardio Queen. Sharon, I made it back to Kentucky in time to do a live today. How cool. But anyways, what we're going to be doing is we're literally going to be working out in a kitchen chair. But the beauty in this particular situation is you can literally go at your pace. You don't have to keep up with me. Thank you so much for sending me the gift, Sharon. I appreciate that. But you can literally go at your own pace. Do whatever you can do, because the beauty in this particular situation is, though it is Challenge Wednesday, we're going to have 10 exercises. Thank you so much for sending me the gifts, Nana, right? But we're going to have 10 exercises. And with this being Challenge Wednesday, that means we're going to have a challenge. So instead of doing the usual 14 exercises today, we're going to have the 10 exercises. We're going to exercise a minute per exercise. And then we're going to have a 20-second breather. Hey, Lydia. Welcome back, sweetheart. So we're going to do that. Now, with that being said, I understand coming from over 500 pounds, exercising for a complete minute is really challenging, right? I'm not wearing my shapewear today, by the way, just so we're very clear. I'm wearing no shapewear. So this is really me. This is who I am. But anyways, we're literally going to do whatever you can do at your pace, and you've got this, okay? So you don't have to keep up with me. You don't have to be super fast. You don't have to kill yourself in this routine, because I understand exercise for one consecutive minute can be very challenging. So that's why I've created Challenge Wednesday, because what I love about doing Challenge Wednesdays is it allows you to be able to actually gauge your progress. It allows you to be able to gauge where you're making progress at, where you're needing to work a little bit more, and things of that nature. Like, I absolutely love doing Challenge Wednesdays. It's what I do every single Wednesday. Every single one of my routines I make fresh. Like, I literally was making this before, on my live earlier, letting people on Facebook know that I would be going live today. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you all know what our routine is. And then I want to show you how to properly sit in the chair and get the party started, okay? But what we're going to start off with today is seated jump rope. We're going to go into knee slicers, cross ankle taps, tapsies, out and ups, obliques, under leg jacks, jog, uppercuts, and then jacks. Alexa, play Spotify.
Okay, here's Spotify.
Alexa, play No Copyright Sounds playlist. This literally happens almost every single time, and I apologize greatly for that.
No copyright sounds.
Oh, thank you so much, Carly. Also, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I have been nominated again. I am a top 5 nominee for the Cheer Choice Awards, and I'll be back in Las Vegas this upcoming April, for a fitness award nominee. I made it as a top 5 nominee. I have literally folks that are in this category that have millions of followers, like as in 2.2 million, 10 million, like, and I'm up with big people with like big things going for them. So I'm super honored, and I want to say thank you guys as well for voting me up. Thank you, Kathleen. Charge. So we have Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, okay? Anyways, if y'all don't know, I am 5'10" and a half. Praise God, I stopped growing in the 6th grade. I got to bring YouTube down further. But praise God, I stopped growing in the 6th grade, because I would have been freaking ginormous, okay? But anyways, I'm literally using a kitchen chair. I'm going to let you know, because you're not going to have something to rely on and have support when you need it, okay? So just take your time, pace yourself, and I promise you got this, okay? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and sit at the edge of my seat It's very important that you try to stay at the edge of your seat. You're going to try your best to keep your back off the back of your chair. And then we're also going to focus on trying to keep our core tight. And a lot of people don't know what that means. So basically, if you have ever sucked your stomach in to try and take a selfie and look skinny, baby, that's all we're going to do, okay? But make sure you have something to stay hydrated. And again, I'm going to reiterate, please do not try to keep up with me. Just go at your own pace. Give me your best effort. Though we are exercising for 1 minute increments, I want you to understand the importance of going at your own pace and do. But what I'm going to also do is I'm going to show you some different exercises that you can utilize in the event you cannot finish the exercise within that 1 minute time frame, because what I've created is high intensity interval training seated workout routines. So what we're going to have to do is stay moving within that 1 minute time period, okay? So even if you cannot finish the exercise at hand, what you can do is this right here. This is seated quick feet. Now I like to keep my hands out in front of me because what that does is it helps engage your abdominal region. But if that's too challenging for you right now, what I would encourage you to do as you increase your intensity, have your arms up. Maybe they're starting to burn a little bit, right? Drop them. Keep them down for a little bit. Kind of gather yourself, pop them back up. If they're starting to burn again, just kind of challenge yourself so you're getting that full body exercise workout routine, okay? But let's say that engaging your legs is a challenge. That's okay too. What you can do instead is a seated jack, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and get the party started and show you guys what our first exercise is up tonight, and that is seated jump rope, which looks like this. My feet are coming off of the floor, but the modification to that is you're going to be on your tippy toes and you're going to bounce on those tippy toes, okay? So we're going to do that for 1 minute, but before I get into it, what I'm going to do is I track my routine on my Apple Watch under high intensity. So, jump ropes. Let's go. We have option 1, and again, if the advanced version is too challenging for you, baby, you're going to bounce on your tippy toes, okay? You got this. Now, I will not probably be live tomorrow because I'm going to be going out of town to get a tattoo, if you guys did not know that. So in the event I am not back in Kentucky on time, then I'm going to share a recording for you all to complete tomorrow, okay? But you'll have to check my Facebook page. Cool. But up next is going to be our knee slicer. Now, in this particular exercise that's coming up, thank you for sending yours. But the exercise that is coming up, I have 3 different examples, okay? Ooh, my thighs are burning on this one. Woo. Thank you. Take that breather. So we're going to have our 20-second breather. Okay? But you choose whichever way is going to work the best for you. We've got 1 minute. Let's go. Now in seated cardio, the quicker you move, the more it's going to increase your heart rate, which in turn will burn more calories. But if raising that knee is a challenge, again, you're going to slam, okay? Or, boom. No excuses, baby. You can do this. It's not a big deal. But when you're keeping that core tight, I can feel it. This is an amazing abdominal workout. Trust me. And oh my gosh, my core is sore. You got it. Perfect. Good job. Good job. We're almost there. Take that breather. So up next is going to be our cross ankle tap. So we have cross ankle tap. If going to that ankle is a challenge, you can do cross shin or cross knee tap. Now, if raising those legs is a challenge, what I would suggest for right now is doing this number right here. All right? Keep them down, but still get it in. But we have 1 minute. Let's go. So we have option 1. Option 2. Option 3. Option 4. You pick what works for you. The beauty in this is I understand coming from over 500 pounds, modifications are sometimes necessary to get us to that advanced level. And I love to be able to provide the world with modifications all while sitting in a chair. So don't knock seated cardio till you try it, because I promise you're going to get a workout in. Perfect. Let's go. But if you haven't already, just hit that share button for me. Thank you. Good job. Almost there. And take your breather, babe. So up next is going to be tapsies. To do that one, you're going to be like this. So you're going to go down, out, come up and in, down, out, up and in. Okay. Now what I'll also do is I tense up my arm muscles, especially when I'm doing this exercise, so that it engages those muscles and works them out too, okay? Well, let's kill it. We got 1 minute. Let's go. So down, out, up, in. Down, out, up, in. Go at your own pace, all right? I'm about to speed myself up. I've been doing this for a few years. But if you're keeping that core tight, this is also going to be an abdominal workout. The beauty in seated cardio is once you hit advanced exercises, it's an entire body workout. You got it. Put in that work, baby. Let's go. Welcome to Challenge Wednesday. Good job, baby. But I provide my routines for each charge Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will possibly not be live tomorrow. You can watch my Facebook account for the notification. Take your breather to let you all know if I'll be live or not. Now, out and ups are next. This one's tricky. So you're going to start in the center. You're going to go out, in, up, down, okay? Repeat out, in, up, down. You're going to continue to repeat exercise down, it up, okay? Out, in, up, out, in, up, down, okay? Are we ready? Now make sure you guys stay hydrated. Listen to your body. Don't overdo it. Because I understand coming from over 500 pounds, 1 minute of exercise is challenging as heck. So remember, you can go into seated quick feet or do whatever you can to just stay moving. If you want to stand up and walk, baby, do that. That's right. Obliques are going to be next, okay? Almost there. You got it. Breather. So obliques are next. I have a few different options for obliques. We have knee to elbow, side bend, or you can go down and do a heel touch. But you're really going to make sure you're getting those obliques, okay? But in just a few seconds, we're going to knock this out for a minute. Okay? All right, we got 1 minute. Let's go. So we have oblique option 1. Or we have option 2. Or option 3, baby. Whatever you do, give your best effort. I will let you know when I was over 5, over 4, over 300 pounds, This was one of my favorite ways to work my obliques. I would lay in my bed, I would lay in the floor at the gym, and this is what I would do. And it works. But if you want to advance it up, side bend, side bend, side bend, or knee to elbow. It is completely your choice. But what I'm passionate about is always providing modifications for you guys. Because I get it. I used to struggle, still struggle sometimes. Take your breather. But I can tell you right now, where there is a will, there is a way. So don't doubt yourself and think that you can't get something in because of your size or because of your skill level. Because this is something that is all-inclusive, period. Okay? But up next is under leg jacks. You're going to start up here, under leg. But let's kill it. Oopsie poopsie. Are you ready? If not, that's too bad. We got 1 minute. Let's go. Good job. Thank you guys for hitting that share button. I see y'all. Now, I am keeping our Christmas card wall up because I know that I still have more coming in. So I'm going to give it like a little bit, and I'll probably take it down around mid to the end of January, but we will see. Maybe we do Valentine's Day walls. I don't know. I'm kind of having fun doing it now. But remember, if going under those legs is a challenge, this is a perfect modification. Because when I was over 5, over 4, even 300 pounds, I struggled going under my legs because I was so big. My legs were massive. My belly was massive. But now I'm small enough, even with all my extra skin, to boom, baby. Take your breather. So next is going to be option 1, or my feet are on the floor, okay? We have pump, 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 all right? You're literally tippy-toeing up, your heels come off the floor, and you're making opposites. We have 1 minute, seated jog, let's get it. So you're going to go this route, okay? Now, I've been doing this for a hot minute, so I will be quicker possibly than some of you. That's okay, because I promise, if you keep showing up, you're going to get here, even possibly surpass me. You got this. But we have this option. But remember, pump, 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 pump. Keeping that core tight. And as you're rotating, you're going to work that abdominal region, okay? But see how it looks like we're jogging? But we're not. This is low impact, 100% beginner friendly. And you can sweat and get fit while sitting. Trust and believe. Ooh, we got a good one coming up next, y'all. Take that breather. So if you are just popping on, we are doing Challenge Wednesday, seated cardio with myself. I'm Nataushia, known as the seated cardio queen. But this right here is our next exercise. But you're obviously going to go at your own pace. It's uppercuts. So if you've had a stressful day, take it out on this exercise. All right. Whew, it is. I'm not cold in my room anymore, y'all. It is nice and toasty. But we have 1 minute, uppercuts. Let's go. But my name is Nataushia. I'm 33 years old. I am from Southern Kentucky, and I started my weight loss journey when I was over 500 pounds back in 2021. I ended up changing my entire lifestyle. And what I mean by that is I had PCOS and insulin resistance. So I eat low carb, high protein, low sugar. I hit like 60 to 100 grams of protein every day. I hit around 50 net carbs and around 28 grams of sugar. Within my first month, I ain't gonna front, I starved. I was hungry. I was struggling because I went from overeating to having a protein shake for breakfast, a protein shake for lunch, and a giant salad for dinner. Used to a normal meal for me was 2 Domino's pizzas, mozzarella cheese sticks, and dessert. So I went from doing that to having a protein shake for breakfast, lunch, take your breather, and then having a salad for dinner. And people ask me all the time, how did you do it? I was pissed off. I was hungry. I was angry. I was miserable. But I knew if I didn't do what I was doing, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. So I toughed it out. And I'll tell you my secrets in a second. We got Jack's up next. Option 1, option 2, option 3. No legs. All right. We have 1 minute of Jack's. Let's go. So what I would do in that first month, I would snack on popsicles. Because when I would chew on a sugar-free popsicle, it would make my mind think that I was eating. Or I would warm up chicken broth, veggie broth. I do not like beef broth, so I would not use that. But it would make me feel like I was eating. Okay, but we have option 1. Here's option 2. And here's option 3. All right. But after I did a month of that, I ended up having at 440 pounds even on June 30th, 2021. I followed my surgeon's guidelines, worked the program, and I stuck to the low-carb, high-protein lifestyle the entire time. Whew, we're almost there. Take that breather. But I also try to always hit my water goals. I obviously exercise a little bit, on average at least 4 times a week. But this is what I've done to lose over 280 pounds. I've completely changed everything about what I did, what I know, and how I used to live. But it is time for us to jump rope. We're starting round 2 of 3. We have 1 minute. Let's go. Option 1. Here's option 2, bouncing on those tippy toes. But I've completely shifted my life. I've completely changed everything about who I used to be and how I used to live. And a lot of, baby, you've got it. You've always had it. You have to sometimes make yourself do stuff that feels uncomfortable to create those healthy habits. And I promise it is possible. It is attainable. But you have to stop wishing and you have to start doing. Because I wished for over 30 years to lose weight, to get healthy. It wasn't until I stopped wishing, take your breather, and I actually applied myself. I had to put in the work. I had to meal prep. I had to look up different options and alternatives. Because I eat a lot of meat, I eat a lot of cheese, I eat a lot of eggs, I eat a lot of nuts, green beans, greens, things of that nature. Because if you didn't know, there's a lot of natural carbs and sugars in fruits and veggies. There's certain things I will not consume because of the carb and sugar content that is within it. So the fruits, I'll share that with you in just a second. It is knee slicer time. We got 1 minute. So if you didn't know, if you want to eat fruit on the type of lifestyle that I live, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries are the fruits that are lower in carb and sugar content. You can have it in moderation, but pineapples, bananas, things of that nature have a lot of high carb and natural sugars. So for me, I don't consume those types of things unless it's in moderation and on like a treat day. I don't call it really cheat days, but a treat day. But if raising that needs a challenge, remember, you can slam or you can do this, all right? But I completely did a lot of research to learn the different foods that had high carbs, had high sugars. Even though it may be natural, my body won't break those down like a normal person's will. So I had to take a breather. I had to really alter my own food consumption. So a lot of people are like, well, I can't eat like that. First of all, you're speaking negativity over yourself. I used to be that person. I used to be like, oh, I can't meal prep. I can't eat like that. Thank you so much for whoever sent me stars. But I used to live that. That used to be me until I decided to stop being that way and try something new. You're never going to know if something's going to work for you until you actually try it. So stop wishing and just start doing, babe. You'll figure out what works for you. But right now it's cross ankle tap time. We have 1 minute. Cross ankle taps. Starting now. So here's cross ankle tap. Thank you for whoever's sending me stars. Now, if doing the ankle is a challenge, we have cross shin, cross knee, but again, raising legs is a challenge. You can do this number right here for a minute, okay? Until you can get to this level. Now, if you've never worked out with me before, I will also let you know Mondays are completely modified. I show my easiest version of exercise every Monday. And because I have friends that have mobility issues, I have friends that are in wheelchairs, I have friends that have neuropathy and things of that nature. Mondays are no leg engagement, period, ever. Okay? So if you feel like one of these days is too challenging, even with me providing modifications, I highly encourage you to jump in on a Monday routine. And again, I provide these free of charge, Monday through Thursday. Take your breather at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, I do communicate. I think it said take your breather. But I do communicate when I'm not going to be live, when I'm not able to be present. Like tomorrow, I won't be here possibly because I'll be out of state getting a tattoo. So that's what's up. Okay? But are we ready for tapsies? If not, that's too bad. My timer just went off. We have 1 minute of tapsies starting now. So remember, down, out, up, in, down, out, up, in, down, out, up, in, down, out, up, in. Now I'm tensing up my muscles in my arms, so I'm working those muscles out a little bit more, okay? Now I'm going to speed myself up. You keep going at your own pace till you get this exercise down. Then you do what you can do, okay? But I'll always reiterate, go at your own pace. Give me your best effort. Now, I'm not a personal trainer, but I am a former collegiate athlete. I've always been overweight. But I was a track and field athlete, was not a runner. I was a thrower. Discus and shot put that was my thing. I've always been a big girl, but I've always been an athlete too. I've done basketball. I did football, powder puff. But I was still tackling and clotheslining because they had them girls that was like, oh, let's tackle her. Ain't nobody tackling me. Take your breather. Because praise God, I stopped growing in the 6th grade because I'm a big old girl. So I'm like 5'10" and a half, and like all these girls are like, oh, we're gonna tackle her. No. So I'd stick my arm out, and sometimes they would fall, and then I'll have to get sit down. But that's how I used to be. But I've taken all of my knowledge and created high-intensity interval workout routines in a chair because I injured my left ankle after losing about 200 pounds. It is out and up time. We've got 1 minute. Let's go. You're going to start in the center. Out. In. Up. Down. Okay? Out. In. Up. Down. All right? Now, I'm going to speed myself up, but you repeat. Out. In. Up. Down. Until you get this exercise down, then you speed it up, okay? But I created all of these things because I got injured. After losing 200 pounds, like as I started to lose my weight, my energy shot up. I wanted to literally run. Like all I could do is see myself running. So I thought it was normal for my ankle to be burning. I was like, oh, I'm just working it. Like, it's okay. No. I really did hurt myself. So I ended up having to find another way to get my cardio in. And since creating these routines, I've been able to realize how many other people take your breather. I've been able to see the lives around the world, literally. I have people in New Zealand, Canada, all across the United States, South Africa, Australia. Literally have people from all over the world, United Kingdom, like So many people reach out to me on almost a daily basis telling me how much I inspire them and how much I've changed their life for the better because of what it is that I do free of charge, okay? But we're going to go on ahead and move into obliques. We have 1 minute of obliques. Starting now, we have option 1. Now, if raising that knee is a challenge, that's okay. You're going to do a side bend. Or, one of my favorites, you can do a heel touch. But you're, again, focused on keeping that core tight. You're really focusing on your obliques right now, okay? Because even if I'm not going to my ankles and I'm doing this number right here, I feel my obliques moving. So that's why I was like, okay, side bend. But whatever is going to work for you, I promise I'm not going to be mad. Because the beauty in all of this, literally, we're all on different levels. But we can all still inclusively sit in a chair, sweat, and get fit. Don't knock seated cardio, baby, until you give it a try. It really does work. And even though I have a crap ton of excess skin, I can see an ab line, take a breather, forming in my belly. Like I have a crap ton of excess skin from losing over 280 pounds. I don't have health insurance, so when I am ready, if I do decide to get my skin taken off, I'll have to pay out of pocket because I don't have health insurance, but I've also accepted my body. I can take bubble baths. I can go to Waffle House and my freaking stomach not be on the grill with the chef because it's like shoved all the way over. But we have underleg jacks for 1 minute, starting now. But I will live with my excess skin because now I've accepted my body. Do I have times that I struggle with it? I do. Because society is a very harsh society. We're all kind of taught to look a certain way, like you're supposed to be tall and thin and look all like that. When in reality, we're all beautiful, no matter what size we are, no matter what color we are, no matter what we believe in, we're all beautiful. Because looks fade, looks change. But what doesn't change and what doesn't fade is how we treat other people. Now, if going under those legs is challenging, remember, this modification is totally okay. All right? But you do what you can do based on your skill level. If you're telling me, hey, Nataushia, I'm giving you my best effort right now, give it to me, baby. Because I know what it's like to be looked at in your face, take your breather, and told, hey, that's not going to work for you. That's not going to do anything for you. I've had coach, they're not going to know 500 plus, 300 plus, because most of the people are fit, healthy, because that's what they know. That's what they've done. They've never been overweight. But I'm here to tell you, as somebody that's been over 500 pounds, if you're giving your best effort, that's all I need. That's all that I want. But it is time for us to go into jog. We have 1 minute seated jog starting now. So we have this option. But if doing this version is too much, just remember, you can pump, pump, pump. Now my feet are on the floor and I'm literally just raising my heel up. But I'm alternating arms because as I'm doing that, I can feel my core working. So it's a full body workout routine while seated. Okay? But you choose whichever of the two is going to work for you. Now, if moving your legs is a challenge, go into a seated jack. Okay? No leg engagement. You can do this no matter what your circumstances are. I promise you can. Stop doubting yourself for once and just give something a shot. It might look challenging. It might look weird. It might look like it wouldn't even work to you. But I promise, when you do something repetitively, it works. Take your breather. So up next is uppercuts, then jacks. Then we're going to move into our third and final round. We have 3 rounds, 10 exercises, 1 minute per exercise. I don't care how many reps you get in, just your best effort is all I ask of you with that 20-second breather in between each one, okay? It is high intensity interval training. while seated. Okay, let's go on ahead and do our uppercuts. We have 1 minute. Let's go. Now, if you're keeping your core tight in this exercise, it's going to engage your abdominal region too. That's why when I say, if you're trying to keep that core tight, I promise you're going to get a heck of a workout. And if you don't know what keeping your core tight is because you just popped on, that's like sucking your belly in to take a selfie and look cute. But I promise I'm sweating. I can almost guarantee there's other people that's doing this right now with me that's sweating too. Just give it a shot, babe. Perfect. That's it. We're almost there. Take that breather. So we have jacks next. I have 3 options in that exercise. Hopefully you guys are staying nice and hydrated because I am nice and sweaty. So we got 1 minute. Jacks, let's go. So we have option 1. This is our advanced jack, okay? Now, if that's too much for you right now, you're going to do this one. This is option 2. But I understand sometimes this is still challenging, right? So what you can do is this. No legs. But the quicker you move, the more it's going to increase that heart rate and burn calories, okay? But let's say you're ready to make it a little bit more intense. Step it out. Okay? Now, this is the top notch. Thank you for popping on and hitting that share button. Thank you. Keep it moving. You got it. Almost there. Take a breather. So we're moving into our 3rd and final round. Now, this is the one that I ask if you've not really tried to challenge yourself at all throughout this routine. This is the round that I ask that you try to do that. Maybe you've relied on the back of your chair a lot tonight because you're trying to develop your core strength. Try and come off the back of your chair a little bit some during this round if you can handle it. And challenge yourself, or maybe try to go a little bit quicker. Find a way to just make it a little bit more challenging for you if you can handle it, okay? But just give me your best effort. It is time for us to jump rope. We're starting round 3. We have 1 minute. Seated jump ropes. Starting now. So we have option 1. Or we have option 2. Notice my feet are still on the floor. Okay. Now, if even moving your legs is still a challenge, what you can still do is this number right here. So literally, no matter where you're at, you can work out in a chair. This is an inclusive routine. I literally know what it feels like to feel left out. I know what it's like to be chosen last. I know what it feels like to be rejected. I know what it feels like not to feel wanted. That is not something that I allow here. Everyone belongs. If you got a good heart, you're positive, you're not negative and making fun of other people because of what it is they're trying to do to better themselves, baby, you're welcome here. We don't do making fun of people because this world's mean enough. Nonsense. That's why I show as much love as I can to people, because I know what it feels like not to feel loved. So just understand I believe in you, and I know you can do this. I don't say it to be corny, but because I've done it, I know anybody can do this. Can do this. All right. I have 1 minute starting now. But if raising your knees is a challenge, okay, I get it. So you're going to slam, okay? But maybe you're like, Nataushia, I can't go that low yet. Baby, that's fine. And you better say, I can't go that low yet, because it's coming. I'll show you that fits your skill level. You're going to kill it. Because I promise every little bit of movement that you are making right now on your weight loss journey, we're just trying to get healthy, will pay off. When babies are born, y'all, they start crawling, then they're walking, then they're running, then they're unstoppable. You have to take baby steps. You can't expect to come off of your couch and run a marathon day one. I couldn't at 500 plus pounds when I started my weight loss journey. I was doing modified exercises, modified push-ups, modified mountain climbers, take your breather, standing modified burpees. I would not get down on the floor because when I was over 500 pounds, getting down on the floor at that weight was so challenging and almost impossible. But I knew that there was another way. I had to do research. But here, I show you all the modifications. So you don't have to go Google it or figure out another way to get it in. I provide everything because I remember what it's like to want to have something and not know what the heck to do. So I refuse to keep my knowledge from the rest of the world because I know somewhere it's going to help somebody. But let's go ahead and move into cross ankle tap. We have 1 minute of cross ankle taps. Starting, oopsie, not my calculator. We have 1 minute starting now. So we have cross ankle tap. This, all right. You can do it. Stop limiting yourself to being like, oh, I'm too fat. I can't lift my legs. I can't. That used to be me, y'all. I used to make the excuses. So that's why I don't do excuses. There is a way to get it in, but you have to be willing to work a little bit. But lucky for you all, I show everything because I remember what it's like. And I don't want you to have to worry about that, period. I'm not a personal trainer, but I've busted my butt since 2021 and lost over 280 pounds. And I will share my knowledge. Take your breather. Because I know I'm changing lives. And to me, it's worth it. At least that's how I am. Because I'm one of those weird people that like to see other people succeed. I want to see us all win. I don't want to be better than anybody else. I want us all to come up together. That's just how I am. But to each their own. But right now, it is time for us to go into our tapsies. All right. 1 minute, starting now. So that's down, out, up, in, down, out, up, in. Okay. At your own pace. And again, just to reiterate, if you were just popping on, I do tense up my arms when I'm doing this. If you want to add free weights, if you want to add wrist weights, if you want to have resistance bands, you can. But I know some people can't afford a personal trainer. Some people can't afford a gym membership. So generally, if they can't afford those things, they can't afford equipment too. But with seated cardio, all you need is repetitive movement and something to sit on. That's all you need. So that's why I don't add weights. That's why I don't add anything extra other than myself. Because I want the world to see no matter what, you have access to weight loss if you can sit down and move repetitively. Now remember, take that breather. I always provide modifications no matter what. So if you pop on, you're like, what the heck is she doing? I'll probably have a modification coming up for you because that's just how I am. Whew. But we got out and ups next. We are over halfway done with our Challenge Wednesday seated cardio workout routine, and you guys are killing it. All right. But it is time for us to do these out and ups, I think. Yes, we have 1 minute. Start in the center. Out, in, up, down. And just keep repeating. Out, in, up, down. Out, in, up, down. Once you feel like you're comfortable with the exercise, then that's when I want you to speed it up. Okay? But do not speed this exercise up until you have that exercise down. because you can be over there flailing around like a flamingo. I don't care. But it is so important that you learn how to properly do the exercise before you're trying to speed it up and look like a silly mongoose, okay? And what this exercise does, it works your thighs, your glutes, your upper, outer, inner, all the thighs, your lower abdominal region, all that fun stuff, okay? Take that breather. But I'm going to be real. When I first started doing seated cardio, I was like, what is this? I didn't have coordination. Most of the time I was hitting myself. Most of the time I was like, I'm probably not doing it right. But I promise the more you practice it, the easier it's going to become for you, okay? Because I promise I still hit myself to this day. And I've been obliques. But if raising that leg's challenging, that hey, side bend, okay, or heel touch, you pick whatever works for you. I promise I am fine with it, baby, because I understand there's so many different versions of one exercise that will still work, that will still give you the benefit of that exercise. So I don't care what anybody tells you. I promise if you keep showing up and you keep doing this and you're changing your lifestyle, you're making healthier eating choices, you're drinking more water, baby, you're going to see results. Where you're changing everything about what it is that you're doing, you're going to get results. They might not come overnight because it's not going to happen that way. We don't gain weight overnight, which really we do. But we can't take a breather. We can't expect to show up like one day and be like, oh, I did seated cardio, I'm going to lose 5 pounds. No, that's not how it really works. But the more you show up, the more you're exercising, the more you're eating healthy, the more you're drinking more water, the more you're making healthier habits, essentially, they're all going to add up. It's almost like a domino effect, one after the other, okay? So just understand, it's going to take time. I thought when I had weight loss surgery, I was going to wake up and be skinny instantly. It didn't work that way. I had to really put in the work and use my tool, and then I've added supplements in along the way to help me. But right now, it is time for us to do under leg jacks. We have 1 minute of under leg jacks starting now. But if you feel like you don't have a safe space to work out, or you feel like you don't have somebody that gets it, baby, I do. I didn't have a support system really in the beginning. I wanted to find someone, though, like myself in the beginning, that understood the challenges that may arise. And I wanted to hear, like, okay, what did you do when you got hungry? Guess what? I share what I man, thank you so much for sharing that, because that helps. Because when you're used to over-consuming food, like I was in a mother, that's what I did. That's how I got to be over 500 pounds. I turned to food instead of drugs, instead of alcohol, instead of those kinds of things. Twinkies, brownies, cheesecake, all the high-carb foods, fried foods, whatever. I was eating it because I didn't understand that I had to eat different to get results. Take your breather. Actually, I take that back. I did know, but I refused to make the changes because I thought I had more time, if I'm going to be honest right now. I was like, oh, I'll eventually get healthy. I'll eventually get myself together. But, eventually didn't come until cancer was brought into my picture. One day become a mom, that's when I was like, oh, like I don't want cancer. I want to have a kid one day. So that's because I knew I wanted to be a mom one day. But we're going to go on ahead and do our jog. We have 1 minute of seated jog. Starting now, we have option 1. Or we have option 2. Pump, 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 pump. You're going to pick whichever one works for you. And a lot of people may ask, okay, so why did you have precancerous cells in your uterus? If you don't know anything about polycystic ovarian syndrome, That means generally a female cycles is off. Like I literally could go years without a cycle. So because of that, I had a lot of buildup. This might be TMI for some of y'all, your fellas. Sorry, not sorry. This is educational as well. But I had a lot of buildup. So because of that, they were actually trying to get me into a specialist to do like a DNC and actually just clean it all out. But I couldn't go through that. So what happened was I was on phentermine. I started to lose weight. As things progressed and I continued to work on my health, my cycle came back naturally. Completely naturally. So take your breather. So my body started to work, clean itself out. My doctor at the time was trying to get me in for gastric procedure, but my insurance company at the time deemed it medically unnecessary. They said that it was fully cosmetic, even though cancer was in my picture. They kept saying and disputing the fact that the procedure was cosmetic and not medically necessary. So I was denied like 7 times. That's another reason why I say I don't believe in excuses. You have to keep pressing forward. But right now it is time for us to uppercut. We have 1 minute of uppercuts. Let's go. But that's why I'm like, okay, I don't do excuses. So anyways, fast forward. COVID hits. Well, Kentucky, that's where I'm from. They initiated this temporary COVID insurance. I applied like April, late April. I got approved. So then I applied for a bariatrics consultation at Ephraim McDowell Regional Medical Center in Danville, Kentucky, because that's where I lived at the time. Well, I was approved, went for my first consultation, luckily, because I'd had all these issues. My doctors had kept track of my records. They kept track of my weight loss with phentermine, which is Adipex, essentially. So my surgeon's office was able to pull all of my former weigh-ins to speed up my process. So all I had to do was have my psychiatric, take your breather, my psychiatric, my cardiac, and like my EGD, like the scope done in order for me to get my procedure. So anyways, I found out my procedure. Well, I found out my insurance was terminating on June 30th. Mind you, I went like at May for my consultation. I listened to my surgeon immediately. We're going into Jack's. We have option 1, so now, or option 3. Challenge, boom, 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 or boom. But anyways, I found out my coverage is terminating in June. It was like 2 weeks till June 30th. That's when my coverage was terminating when I found out. So I called my surgeon's office. I was like, hey, can I still get this procedure? Like my coverage ends on June 30th. Their office literally said no. I was like, oh no, we can't do it. It's like, bet. Mind you, this is like the 8th or 9th time that I'm being told I can't have something that I'm fighting for. So at the time, I was supposed to be going to Florida to support one of my best friends in her powerlifting competition. I called my other best friend in Kentucky. I explained my situation. Take your breather. But I was like telling her, I was like, girl, I was like, they're saying they can't do my. What we're going to do now is take our left arm and pull it across our body, okay? So she's like, really? Take that left arm, pull it across now. She was like, girl, cancel your Florida vacation, stay in Kentucky. You try to schedule all your appointments so that if you can get in, you can get in. No issues. And I'm thankful that I listened to her. We don't talk to this day, but I will always give her credit for helping me in my journey in that aspect. And I will always have a lot of respect for her in that manner. We're going to switch sides. So shake it out, cross over. So I schedule my EGD, schedule my cardiac clearance, and then I was in at the time, so I contacted my therapist and I was like, hey, like I need to have a psychiatric clearance to have this weight loss procedure. Like, can I get it? She was like, yeah. She's like, you're mentally stable enough. Like, absolutely. Like, I'll write you off. She sent it over immediately. All right, bring your arms down. Okay. We're going to take our left arm, pull it in behind our head. Now, when I was heavier, I couldn't do that, right? So here's a trick. Interlock your hands like this. Come up. Pull. All right? Same way right here. So you're going to choose whichever method works for you, and that's how you're going to stretch. So I get all that done. Like the same day that I had my EGD, like my surgeon literally did my EGD. So he did the scope of like my esophagus, my stomach, all that fun stuff. So then I go to my final weigh-in. Mind you, within a month, I lost like 30 or 40 pounds because I was doing that protein shake for breakfast, protein shake for lunch, salad for dinner. And I'll explain my salad in a second. Let's bring our arms down. Pull our right arm behind our head now, okay? While we're doing that, extend that right leg out in front of you, toes facing the sky. So anyway, I got all that stuff done. Went in for my final weigh-in. Lost like 30 or 40 pounds. I'm sitting in there waiting on my surgeon to come in. He walks in the room. What we're going to do now, we're going to walk our way down our right leg. And I understand if you can't, but I'm here to tell you right now, me just doing this, I can feel that pull. I can just go right here, right now. Give me that, okay? So give me what you got. So he looks up at me after he's done reading my charts and stuff, and he's like, all right, well, I'm going to need you to lose more weight. Mind you, this is like June 27th, essentially, because it was like toward the end of the month. Remember, my coverage is up on June 30th. I thought I already had my surgery scheduled because I contacted the hospital myself and scheduled it. So I look at my surgeon, and he's like, I need you to lose more weight. And I was like, come up, and we're going to switch sides. So left leg out in front of you. And I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to have this procedure. I got bug-eyed. I got kind of upset because I'm like, dang. Like, I did all the footwork. I scheduled all my appointments because my surgeon's office literally told me they couldn't do anything for me. I did it by myself because they would not do anything for me. But my surgeon left me in the room, walked to the secretary's desk, come up. You're going to spread your legs. We'll do a breathing exercise. You're going to inhale up through your nose. Hold your breath right here. Exhale out down through your mouth. We're going to do a total of 3. Again, you will control your breathing, okay? I'm going to knock this out, and then I'll finish talking about that. 1. 2, 1 more. 3. So anyway, my surgeon leaves me sitting in my room. My surgeon's like secretary desk was literally like right across the hallway from my room. So he walks over and he's like, can we get her scheduled for surgery? They were like, well, who? Hey, Ellen, thank you so much. Happy New Year's. So they were like, well, who are you talking about? And he was like, Nataushia. They were like, oh, she's like, I'm scared of that. So those of you all that have had that procedure, like, and I really do look up to you because I know, like, my chocolate twin, Whitney, like, she has to get iron infusions, stuff like that. And I have another friend that she has malabsorption, so she's having to take vitamins every single day. But anyways, he, like, told me, he's like, okay, go lay on the table. I was like, okay. So he's, like, feeling in my stomach. Mind you, guys, I'm over 440 pounds at this time, okay? So he's, like, feeling in my belly, doing all the stuff. And he's like, okay. He was like, you're too big right now for me to safely do the bypass. He said, I can't guarantee you're going to come off the table if I do a bypass. I'll never forget that. I was like, that is fine. I was like, that's totally fine. He said, the only thing that I can do safely and comfortably is the gastric sleeve. I said, but that's all I want. Say no more. He's like, that's perfect. So I go through that process, start my full liquid diet, like I was strictly liquids until surgery. And then I went to surgery. Y'all think my journey was over yet? Had a hard time? Went in for registration. I was told that my insurance wasn't going to cover my procedure. So when I tell you all, once, not twice, not even 5, I didn't want to get went to all the things, done all the things, did all the footwork. But anyways, go to registration. They're like, insurance ain't going to cover your procedure coverages at the time because I had my job that I had at the time as a psychiatric residential treatment facility mental health associate. That was what I did. But anyways, I was like, okay, what insurance are you doing this procedure on? They told me what it was. They had it on my job's insurance. They didn't have it on the temporary COVID insurance. I said, okay. I was like, y'all got it on the wrong coverage. I was like, it ain't supposed to be on that. So they sent me back in the waiting room. Mind you, this is COVID time. So I'm like completely by myself because I wasn't, like, my mom took me and stuff, but she wasn't allowed to come sit with me. I had to be completely by myself. So I'm sitting in the waiting room. I felt like I was out there for hours. Literally felt that way. I probably was because, I mean, if you know anything about get in and get out. So she follows me back into the registration room and she's like, okay, we got it fixed. You can have surgery now. I was like, big bet. But what's funny is, y'all know I said I had PCOS, but as I started to lose weight because I was changing my lifestyle, my cycle hit the day I went into surgery. So on top of all the nonsense that I was dealing with, I had to be like, I looked at my surgeon and I was like so embarrassed because, as many of you guys know, and I know I'm being totally open, but I'm very transparent and I don't care to share my story. You're going to get what you're coming after is what I'm trying to tell you all. So anyways, I'm going back there. They weigh me. I'm like 440 pounds a day of exactly 440.0. My surgeon comes in. He's like checking on me and stuff. And I was like, all right. Because they were telling me, like, you have to just get into the robe thingy, like the hospital gown thing. So I was like, okay. I was like, I'm having a situation. I was like, can I just like stay in my underwear for the time being? So my surgeon's in here, and I finally was like, hey, like I'm bleeding. Like I don't know. He's like, do you understand? Like, I'm about to cut you open and I'm about to see a lot more blood. He was like, you're gonna be okay. So I felt like so weird. Like, when I say that my journey has been a heck of a journey, and I don't believe in excuses, because coming from over 500 pounds and then fighting to get the life-saving procedure that changed my life because I got a tool to help me, because that's what it is. When you have a gastric procedure, it's a tool. I know many people that have had these types of procedures, y'all, that don't stick to using their tool properly, that gain the weight back. I did, like, I had bypass, I gained X amount of weight back. Like, do you have tips? Whatever. The biggest thing that I can say is, just because you have a procedure isn't going to guarantee that you're going to lose weight and be successful. You have to understand that you're going to have to show up every single day ready to make that life-changing decision. Alexa, stop. You're going to have to understand that you're always, like, I have to literally for the rest of my life continue to wake up daily and make sure that I'm making healthy lifestyle choices every single day. Every single day. And people will be in my comment section and be like, I hope you never give up. I hope you never stop. I can never stop, because if I do stop, I'm going to get back to going to my old ways. I'm going to get back to being over 500 plus pounds, because I'm not choosing to stay low carb, high protein, low sugar. If I didn't live that type of lifestyle, I would not continue to lose weight or be where I'm at. But anyways, I'm going to go on ahead and end YouTube session, guys. I will be posting on Facebook tomorrow whether or not that I will be live. So if you follow me on Facebook under Nataushia Olivia, that's where all of the information will be at, okay? Because, again, I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be getting a tattoo right here. I'm actually super excited about it. Super, super excited about it. But I'll be getting my tattoo tomorrow, and I'm going out of state to get this tattoo to meet somebody that she said that I've been a big influence in her weight loss journey and stuff. But I'll be literally in a whole different state tomorrow. I'm not going to say where I'm going to be at till after the fact. But please watch my Facebook, TikTok. Please watch my Facebook for an update as far as whether or not I will be live tomorrow. If I'm not, I promise I will share a YouTube video link for you all to complete for Thursday. Now, with that being said, I might work out some this weekend. If I don't, again, I'll see you on Monday, regardless. But God bless you, YouTube. I'll see you guys next time. But anyways, do I have anybody that this was your first